My beloved child, before the sun rises over the road you cannot yet see, before the noise of the day begins again, before fear starts naming your future with words I never spoke, come near and look at my hand. Your hand is trembling, but mine is steady. Your grip feels tired, but mine has not weakened. You feel as though you are holding on to me with the last strength you have left. But beloved, listen carefully. You were never held by the strength of your grip alone. You have been held by mine. Have you forgotten who held you last time? Have you forgotten the night you thought you would not make it, yet somehow morning still came? Have you forgotten the season when your heart felt so heavy that even breathing felt like obedience? Have you forgotten the door that closed and made you feel rejected, only for you to later realize that what looked like rejection may have been protection? Have you forgotten the prayer you could not finish because the tears rose faster than the words? I heard that prayer. I heard what you could not say. I saw what you tried to hide. I saw the moment you smiled in front of people while breaking quietly inside. I saw the way you kept moving when your soul was tired. I saw the way you whispered, Lord, I do not know how much longer I can do this. I saw the fear you did not want to admit because you thought fear made you less faithful. But I am not angry at your trembling. I am near to you in it. Beloved, this message is not coming to condemn you. It is coming to call your heart back to remembrance. Fear has been loud. Pressure has been heavy. The waiting has stretched longer than you expected. The answers have not come the way you hoped. And somewhere in the middle of it, you began to wonder if I was still holding you. So I ask you gently, not harshly, have you forgotten who held you last time? Not who applauded you. Not who understood you. Not who stayed. Who left. Who believed you. Or who doubted you. I am asking you to remember the one who carried you when no one else could see the weight. I am asking you to remember the one who strengthened you when you did not know where strength was coming from. I am asking you to remember the one who kept you when your own heart felt too weak to keep going. You are not listening to these words by accident. You are here because your heart has been tired, and I am calling it back to peace. You are here because the battle in front of you has made you forget the grace behind you. You are here because you have been looking at the size of the storm, and I am asking you to look again at the faithfulness of the one who stayed with you through every storm before this one. Could it be that what you called abandonment was a place where I was still holding you? Could it be that the silence was not proof that I had forgotten you? Could it be that the valley you barely survived became a testimony your heart now needs to remember? I am not asking you to pretend this season is easy. I am not asking you to deny that the pressure is real. I am not asking you to hurry through grief or call pain good. Pain itself is not good. But I am able to keep pain from having the final word. So breathe. My beloved child, let your heart become still enough to remember. The same hand that held you in the last valley is not missing from this one. Beloved, I have seen the pain you did not know how to explain. I saw the silent tears. I saw the closed door. I saw the delay that made you question whether you had missed your season. I saw the pressure that pressed on your chest in the middle of the night. I saw the shame that whispered, you should be stronger than this by now. I saw the fear that returned after you thought you had already overcome it. You wondered why you felt afraid again. You wondered why something inside you trembled when you had already survived so much. You wondered whether your weakness meant you had failed me. But hear me with tenderness. Weakness does not disqualify you from my care. Exhaustion does not make me turn away. Fear does not erase your faith. Grief does not mean you are spiritually immature. A tired prayer is still heard by heaven. A whispered cry is still known by me. A heart that can only say, help me, is not rejected in my presence. I have seen the way you measure yourself against the version of yourself you wish you were. You think you should be stronger? Calmer. More certain. Less wounded. You think that because I helped you before, you should not need reassurance again. But my beloved child, I do not shame you for needing to be held again. A child who has been carried once may still need to be carried through another hard road. And I am not weary of carrying you. You have been afraid to admit how much this season has affected you. You have tried to keep your heart organized. You have tried to keep your faith presentable. You have tried to tell yourself, Yemfine, when deep inside you were asking, Lord, are you still here? I am here. I was there in the room where you could not sleep. I was there when the answer did not come. I was there when the person you expected to understand did not understand. I was there when the door closed and your heart heard the word rejected. Even though I was still working in ways you could not yet see. I was there when your strength ran out and you still had to wake up the next morning. You thought you were surviving because you had no choice. But there were moments when my grace was holding pieces of you together that you did not even know were breaking. My word says in Psalm 3:418 that the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. I did not speak that truth for people who never hurt. I spoke it for hearts like yours. I spoke it for the ones who keep going with invisible wounds. I spoke it for the ones who feel crushed but are still reaching. I spoke it for the ones who wonder if I am distant because the pain has been so loud. I am near to the brokenhearted. Near does not always mean the pain disappears immediately. Near does not always mean the answer arrives the way you imagined. Near means you are not abandoned inside the suffering. Near means your tears do not fall unseen. Near means the wound matters to me. Near means the silence is not empty. Even when it feels long. You have called some things evidence of my absence because you could not yet see my nearness. You have called some delays failure because you could not yet see preparation. You have called some closed doors rejection because you could not yet see protection. You have called some pressure defeat because you could not yet see refinement. But my beloved child, the pain may not mean what fear told you. It meant the wound was real, but it was not the whole story. The waiting hurt, but it was not invisible. The pressure was heavy, but it was not greater than my presence. And the fact that you are tired does not mean I have stopped holding you, my child. Fear has been interpreting your season for you. Fear looked at the silence and said, God has left. But silence is not always abandonment. Fear looked at the delay and said, you failed. But delay is not always denial. Fear looked at the closed door and said, you were rejected. But the door that closed was not always rejection. Sometimes it was protection. Fear looked at the pressure and said, you are losing. But pressure is not always defeat. Sometimes it is refinement. Fear looked at your weakness and said, you are no longer chosen. But weakness does not remove my hand from your life. Beloved, do not let fear become the prophet of your future. Fear can describe what you feel, but it cannot define what I am doing. Fear can tell you the storm is loud, but it cannot tell you that I am absent. Fear can tell you the night is long, but it cannot cancel the dawn I am preparing. Fear can point at the soil and say, nothing is happening, but it cannot see the hidden roots I am forming beneath the surface. A seed under soil may look buried, but it may also be held. Roots grow in places the eye cannot celebrate. Dawn begins before the whole sky changes. A lamp in a dark room does not remove the night outside, but it proves the darkness has not won. A river may seem impossible until I teach you to take the first step. A threshold may feel like an ending, when it is actually the place where I begin guiding you differently. This is what you misunderstood. You thought that because you could not see movement, I was not moving. You thought that because you could not feel strength, I was not sustaining you. You thought that because you cried again, you had gone backward. You thought that because you were afraid again, your faith had disappeared. But faith is not the absence of trembling. Faith is turning your trembling heart toward me. Faith is not pretending the valley did not hurt. Faith is letting me meet you inside it. Faith is not denying the wound. Faith is trusting that the wound does not get the final word. I am not asking you to romanticize your pain. I am not asking you to call betrayal beautiful, or loss easy, or waiting painless. Pain itself is not good. The wound was real. The disappointment mattered. The door that closed hurt. The delay tested parts of your heart you did not know were still fragile. My comfort does not erase the reality of what happened, but I am able to keep pain from becoming the author of your identity. I am able to bring mercy into places where fear wrote final sentences. I am able to hold what felt buried until the proper season. I am able to teach your heart that what looked like the end may become the place where I begin restoring you. My word says in Romans 8:28 that for those who love me, I work all things together for good. This does not mean everything that happened to you was good. It means I am good enough, wise enough, and faithful enough to work even in what hurt you. I do not waste what the world tried to bury. I do not forget the tears that fell in hidden rooms. I do not overlook the obedience that nobody applauded. I do not dismiss the prayers that came out broken. You thought the last valley was only a place of pain. But look again. Was there not strength you did not have before? Was there not mercy that met you when people could not? Was there not a door that closed, yet you were still kept? Was there not a night you thought would swallow you, yet morning came? Do you see now? What looked like abandonment may have contained hidden preparation, protection, or mercy. You were not always aware of my hand, but my hand was there. Now come closer, my beloved child. Let my word remind you of the one who carries you. Remember what is written in Isaiah 4:6-4, I have made, and I will bear. I will carry and will save. Beloved, I did not create you only to leave you when the road became hard. I did not form you only to forget you in the valley. I did not carry you through the last season as an accident. I am the one who made you, and I am the one who carries you. I am the one who saw your beginning, and I am the one who is still holding your present. I am not confused by the pressure you are under. I am not surprised by the fear that rises in you. I am not distant from the battle that feels too large. I will carry, I will sustain, I will be faithful. But I want you to remember, because remembrance is one way your heart returns to trust. Psalm 77:11 says, I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your wonders of old. My child, memory can become a holy shelter. Not memory that traps you in the past, but memory that reminds you of my faithfulness. When fear tells you, you are alone, remembrance answers, God has carried me before. When anxiety says, this will destroy you, remembrance says, the Lord has sustained me through valleys I thought would end me. When shame says, you are too weak, remembrance says, His grace was enough then, and His grace is still enough now. And Hebrews 1:3-8 reminds you that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Your season has changed, but I have not changed. The storm may look different, but my faithfulness is not different. The pressure may feel new, but my hand is not new. The fear may be loud today, but my love has not become smaller than it was yesterday. Remember David? Before David stood before Goliath, he remembered what I had already brought him through. When others saw only a giant, David remembered the lion and the bear. In Samuel 17, David told Saul that when a lion or a bear came and took a lamb from the flock, he went after it. He said that the Lord who delivered him from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear would deliver him from the hand of the Philistine. Do not miss this. My beloved child, David's courage did not come from pretending the giant was small. The giant was real. The danger was real. The valley was real. But David remembered that the giant was not the first place where he had needed me. The hidden field mattered. The private battles mattered. The moments no crowd saw mattered. The lion and the bear were not wasted. They became testimony. They became memory. They became evidence that I had already been teaching David to trust me where no one else was watching. So it is with you. The last battle was not meaningless. The last valley was not wasted. The last time you thought you would not survive, I was holding you. The last time you cried yourself empty and still woke up breathing, I was near. The last time the door closed and your heart broke, I was still guiding. The last time you felt too weak to continue but somehow took another step, my grace was beneath that step. You have faced lions no one saw. You have fought bears no one understood. You have endured private battles that never became public testimony. But heaven saw them. I saw them. I saw the restraint it took not to answer bitterness with bitterness. I saw the courage it took to keep praying when the answer had not come. I saw the faith it took to show up when your heart was tired. I saw the quiet obedience that looked small to others but was precious before me. Now you stand before something that feels large again. A new fear, a new uncertainty, a new pressure, a new giant. And fear is telling you, this time will be different. This time you will not make it. This time you are alone. But my beloved child, do not face this giant with fear alone. Face it with the memory of my faithfulness. You do not need to pretend you are fearless. You do not need to perform strength for me. You do not need to know how the battle will unfold. But you can remember who held you last time. You can remember that the God of the hidden field is also God in the valley. You can remember that the one who carried you then is still able to carry you now. What felt buried may still be held in my hands. What looked delayed may still be under my care. What seemed forgotten may still be remembered by heaven. And what you are facing now is not greater than the faithfulness that has already carried you this far. My child, now that I have comforted your heart, I am asking you for one small step, not a dramatic step, not a perfect step, not a step that requires you to feel fearless. I am asking you to remember, tonight, or when your heart becomes quiet enough, write down 3 moments when I carried you through something you thought you would not survive. Write down one valley where you were sure you would break, but you are still here. Write down one closed door that hurt you, but did not destroy you. Write down one season when you had no strength left, but strength somehow came. Do not rush through this. Let your memory slow down. Let your heart look back with me, not to relive the pain, but to recognize the grace that met you there. Let remembrance become worship. Let worship become steadiness. Let steadiness become courage for the next step. You have spent many hours remembering what hurt you. You have replayed the rejection. You have replayed the delay. You have replayed the moment the door closed. You have replayed the fear of what might happen next. But now, I am inviting you to remember differently. Remember not only the wound, remember the hand that held you through it. Remember not only the night, remember the morning that came. Remember not only the weakness, remember the grace that carried you when strength was gone. This is not denial. This is not pretending. This is holy remembrance. And I am also asking you to stop letting present fear erase past faithfulness. Stop speaking defeat over a season. I am still holding. Stop calling yourself abandoned because you feel afraid. Stop measuring my nearness by the loudness of the storm. Stop returning again and again to the old door, trying to force open what I may have closed to protect your heart. Stop letting shame tell you that your trembling makes you unworthy of my care. This is not a threat. This is not fear-based instruction. I am not saying, do this or I will leave. I am saying, come closer. Because fear has been pulling your memory away from my goodness. I am not warning you because I am harsh. I am guiding you because I love you. Obedience can begin while trembling remains. You can pray again while still feeling tired. You can trust me with the next step while still not seeing the whole road. You can release self-condemnation while still healing from what happened. You can choose peace over panic, one breath at a time. You can say, Lord, I remember, even if tears come while you say it. Do not wait until you feel strong to take the next faithful step. David did not need the whole army to understand him before he remembered my faithfulness. He remembered what I had already done, and that memory gave him courage for what stood in front of him. So it is with you. Before you face what is next, remember what I have already carried you through. Before you believe the fear, remember the grace. Before you call this season hopeless, remember the nights you thought hope was gone. And yet I kept a lamp burning inside you. Before you say, I cannot do this, pause and say, I may not be able to carry myself, but I know the one who carries me. My beloved child, I am not asking you to force courage. I am inviting you to remember grace. And as you remember, let your heart become tender again. Let the hard places soften. Let the places that have been bracing for disaster begin to breathe. Let the fear that has been shouting lose its authority. Let the memory of my faithfulness become louder than the voice of panic. Write the 3 moments down. Speak them aloud if you can. God held me there. God carried me through that. God did not leave me then. And when fear says, but this time is different, answer with truth. My season may be different, but my Savior has not changed. I am not asking you to know the whole future. I am asking you to trust me with the next step. I am not asking you to pretend you are not wounded. I am asking you to bring the wounded place into my hand. I am not asking you to run ahead. I am asking you to walk with me. And if all you can do today is place your trembling hand back into mine, that is enough for this moment. My beloved child, listen to me as the night begins to loosen its grip and the first light touches the path ahead. I have not forgotten you. Your waiting has not been invisible to heaven. The silence was not proof that I had abandoned you. The wound was real, but it was not the whole story. I was nearer than the darkness made it seem. I held you then, and I am holding you now. You wanted every answer before you took another step. You wanted the whole map before you trusted the road. You wanted to know why the door closed, why the delay lasted, why the pressure came, why your heart had to carry so much. I understand. I am not offended by your questions. I am not distant from your confusion. I know the ache of a heart that wants clarity. But beloved, you do not need the full map to trust my hand. I am not promising you an easy road, but I am promising you my presence on the road. I am not promising that every battle will end the way you imagined, but I am promising that you will not walk through it alone. I am not promising a timeline that fear can control, but I am promising faithful care, wise guidance, comfort in the valley, strength for the next step, and peace that can guard your heart even before every circumstance changes. The new season I am bringing may begin quietly. It may begin with peace returning to a place where panic lived. It may begin with one honest prayer after a long silence. It may begin with your heart remembering what it had forgotten. It may begin with you no longer calling your fear the final truth. It may begin with you realizing, I have been held more times than I knew. Do not despise the quiet beginning. dawn does not arrive all at once. It touches the edge of the sky before it fills the whole horizon. A seed does not break through the soil before roots have formed in hidden places. A river does not part for the whole journey at once. Sometimes it opens at the step of obedience. A lamp in the night may look small, but it is still proof that darkness has not won. So breathe again. You are not behind my mercy. You are not too wounded for my care. You are not disqualified because you became tired. You are not forgotten because the answer has not yet arrived. You are not abandoned because you feel afraid. I am preparing your heart to walk forward with remembrance. I am teaching you to recognize my hand in places where fear told you I was absent. I am restoring your ability to trust one step at a time. I am covering your heart with peace. Not because everything is easy, but because I am with you inside what is hard. When fear rises again, remember, when the old shame speaks again. Remember, when the storm feels loud again. Remember, when you stand before another giant. Remember the lion and the bear. Remember the hidden battles where I helped you. Remember the nights that did not destroy you. Remember the valleys that did not have the final word. Remember the grace that held you when your hands were empty. And then say, softly but truly, the Lord held me then. He is holding me now. My child, I am not finished with you. What felt buried may still be held in my hands. What you thought was the end may become the place where I begin restoring you. What fear called impossible is still under my authority. What pain tried to silence, I can heal with tenderness. Walk with me now, not rushing, not pretending, not performing strength, just walking. Place your trembling hand in mine again. Feel the steadiness of the one who does not change. Let the ground beneath your feet become sacred, not because it is easy, but because I am with you there. The path ahead may not be fully visible, but dawn is beginning to touch it, and as the morning light rises, see this. Jesus is holding your hand. The valley behind you did not keep you. The fear before you will not own you. The road beneath you is still being guided by grace. The same hand that held you through the last valley has not let go of you in this one. I held you then. I am holding you now. And I will carry you as the new dawn begins.